Welcome to Blink 155, to somebody that we kind of just stumbled across, but I think the universe intended for us to find one another one day. It's Patrick. What's up, Patrick?
Hey, how you doing?
Is your last name Talesfore?
No, but I like it when people pronounce it like that because it makes me sound kind of Southern. It's Patrick Talesfore Jr.
Patrick Talesfore Jr. Yeah, I guess to me saying Talesfore it was kind of like a furry or My Little Pony kind of thing.
Talesfore. I like it when people say that. Like somebody's like, "Hey, is your name Talesfore?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's perfect."
And so you're here because a couple weeks ago we stumbled across an incredible thing that you've been doing on YouTube for a while. If people maybe heard it on the episode, they'll know what I'm talking about. But otherwise, I don't want to get into it too much until we kind of get into the nitty gritty. But essentially, you've been doing these for what seems like many, many years, you've been doing these would you call them drum covers? Is that how you brand them?
100%. They're Blink-182 drum covers, the official Blink-182 drum covers, actually. But yes, they are very much drum covers.
And how many have you uploaded?
However many are on like the first 3 albums with Travis Barker on them. It's like, or what is it, 4? I don't know how many I've done. There's got to be like 50 or 30 or 50.
Oh my God! So you're only covering Travis?
Yeah. I mean that was my introduction to Blink-182. I didn't listen to Blink-182 until I was like 18 years old.
Okay.
I was very much into the punk rock, like very much into punk rock stuff. And to me, Blink-182, I was like, that's pop punk. I don't want to indulge in that, but I think they have some great tunes. And yeah, my introduction to them was Enema of the State at like 18 years old, and I was pretty into it.
Okay, so first of all, I can tell just from the very little, and I'm excited to get into it more, but I can tell like you are actually like a real drummer. Like you know what you're doing. What kind of music do you play day to day?
Man, I guess when I like narrow it down, or when people are like, "What do you do?" I just say like experimental music, or like somebody asked me like they saw like a band of mine that I was playing in, and they were like, "What kind of music do you call that?" And I was like, "Dude, I don't know, like modern music."
Right. So is it like free improv kind of stuff, or free jazz
definitely.
maybe?
I love free improvisation. I think it's like the most powerful practice you can kind of partake on your instrument. And there's like a lot of self-discovery in that. I love it. I love improvising. I love improvising with other people. And I think it's a super important practice as a musician.
A very good friend of mine who's been on the pod a couple times, his name is Chris Dadge, and he runs a label and free improv night in Calgary, Alberta, where I used to live. And I think it's kind of interesting to me that, I mean, he similarly has, I mean, it really grosses him out when I make him listen to Travis Barker, but he has sort of a similar, like, he can kind of see because I always describe Travis Barker as sounding like he's loading a dishwasher when he plays the drums. And I think there's kind of there's something about it that borders on maybe like a mall version of free improv.
I love Travis Barker. Like 100% non-ironically love Travis Barker. I think he's so crazy. And like, he's also a guy you can hire to like, if you're going to hire him to play on your pop track or whatever, he's going to go knock it out in like 10 minutes or whatever, however long the track is. He's going to knock it out in one take. And whether you agree with his style or not, he's going to do it in his style. But like, he's a man of his work, and I can appreciate that.
Right. Okay. So
I like his stuff outside of Blink-182 more than the Blink-182 stuff.
Yeah, because you just uploaded like one of his new rap collaborations, right?
Yeah, he put it out like on the 9th or something, and I covered it on the 10th.
He pretty much does one like every day, I feel like.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I guess kind of in this realm as well, how do you feel about this idea that I've been thinking about for a while, is that sort of Travis Barker is like a mainstream kind of Zach Hill figure?
Man, that's like a pretty cool and good comparison. They're both like super physical with their style. That works. It could work. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're two wholly different like approaches to the drum set, but yeah, they definitely like fit. And there's a connection between the two.
So you said that you grew up listening to like punk music, and then you thought Blink-182 was too pop punk. Like what? So what were you listening to when you were younger?
Like if you like had the most like stereotypical like person who was like 1977, like 1984, 1985 punk rock, like that was pretty much me. It was like it was basically like if you look at if you type in like punk rock on Google and you have like one of those sheets that has like all the band logos on it, that was like probably my music taste. It was like the Misfits, the Ramones. I liked the Casualties. I liked who were like some older bands. I was into Bad Brains. I was into the Damned. I wasn't into the Sex Pistols. I like the Clash. I later appreciated the Sex Pistols a lot more. But it was stuff like that. A lot of like the New York stuff, like a little bit of like European stuff, and then like the European hardcore stuff that was like in the 80s or whatever.
So were you playing in punk and hardcore bands?
What's up?
Were you playing in punk and hardcore bands back then too?
Yeah, like I was trying. I had like a kid band like when I was like 16 or whatever, and like we played covers and we had like a few originals. Oh man, I can't forget to shout out like Rancid and Operation Ivy, like two huge like influences on me, especially Operation Ivy and the work of Jesse Michaels. I was super into that stuff. Still super into that stuff. But yeah, I was playing in bands. I still play in a band called Cerce, and that was it's like a hardcore punk band. I just call it experimental music because we're not really a hardcore band. I don't know what we do. We just have fun. Okay. But yeah, I guess I was like more inclined to playing like faster, more aggressive, heavy music. I was like super frustrated at the time. I'm like way less frustrated, way more chill now.
Sick. Okay, well, so we're gonna dive into and try to understand exactly where you're coming from with this, a selection of your great body of work that you've done on YouTube. So if everyone wants to hear the full thing, go to patreon.com/Blink155, and we're going to hop behind the paywall right now.